All right. So to make sure that we're all clear around the salt and jelly juice and swelling and why no one will die from dehydration when on the jelly juice, and then also a recap on what high blood pressure is. Okay, here's the thing. When we change from the pink salt to the white salt, now you're getting straight to the source. You're getting straight source. You're getting straight salt. You're not having all the minerals clouding the issue and distracting you from the intention, but you are getting straight up salt minerals. Okay? Salt, which is a compound, NaCl, sodium chloride. That salt is what energizes your body. And then you need water to offset the salt. So that way your chemistry can be aligned with these minerals coming in. Okay? So what happens is when you don't drink enough water, and this is why people swell on the J juice, is they don't drink enough water. What happens when you are dehydrated or you take a lot of salt and you swell is because then it triggers the antidiuretic hormone to then retain water. And when you retain water, it's the body's defense mechanism to make sure you don't dehydrate. That's the whole point of the antidiuretic hormone. And so when people have so much water retention, that's when they're prescribed water pills to then create the diuretic effect, releasing the excess water. What I found when I first started doing the J juice was I was very swollen, like very swollen. I mean, you can see pictures of me back in 2016 when I visited my parents. I had a puffy face, had a puffy body. And when I started doing the J juice, there's one picture of me that you can see where all of the excess water weight disappeared. I was shrinking my fat cells, losing the excess water weight. And the reason why was because I was drinking water on the protocol. If I didn't drink water on the protocol, then I would be retaining water. I would be tapping into the antidiuretic hormone, which is the defense mechanism to retain water. And then when people have cardiovascular issues and they're taking pills, powder supplements, and detoxes and painkillers, it constricts the blood vessels. When you constrict blood vessels and then the body's trying to retain water and trying to push the thickened blood with the water through your veins and your blood vessels, this is why then there's an increased heart rate and why some people have high blood pressure from salt, because the fact that they are not drinking enough water and they have predispositions of constricted blood vessels. So when you do the J juice, you actually expand your blood vessels, which means that you're releasing prostaglandins. Yeah, you're going to feel pain, but some of you don't want to feel pain, so you're purposely destroying yourself by constricting your blood vessels, causing a potential environment for a heart attack and stroke that you will not survive. So when you do the J juice, you expand your blood vessels, you're releasing the prostaglandins, you're drinking water, so that way you can release the excess water. So that way the body isn't retaining water, which is why people are steadily getting fat in our society. Why they're getting water weight gain, why they are increasing their fat deposits, because they're not releasing the excess. And they're not taking in enough salt with water, they're dehydrated. And then couple that with predispositions of heart issues, now you have a recipe for not surviving a heart attack. So someone in my group was asking me, this is a question he was asking, it was like 6 hours ago. So he was like, I'm having a brand new symptom I never had. I switched to the new recipe a while back and started eating with only 2 cups a day for a while to make sure it was all good. I struggled a bad few months ago and was going through a lot of the same issues that I had already dealt with and came back. I seem to get sores in my legs, back, and once in a while other places. There are deep sores that don't heal quickly and feel tender and swollen under the skin. I also have certain weaknesses that flare up in the same spot over and over throughout my life, especially when I wasn't healthy. A sense of dry spot on my scalp, a sore in my right nostril. All these issues flared up and are slowly healing again, which is good. The problem now seems to be my legs are swelling, and when I've upped my dosage to 4 cups, I have done it twice in the last week, and both times my legs swelled. He needs to drink more water. The first time I felt when I was sitting and my knees didn't want to fold all the way. I felt like my entire upper leg too were swollen and began to sit uncomfortably at 90 degrees. Am I using the wrong kind of white salt? No, you're not drinking enough water. Some of you are switching from the pink salt to the white salt and you're not drinking enough water. You're still drinking your fruit juices, or you're not drinking water, or you're drinking your sodas or your other types of drinks, teas and whatever, but you're not drinking enough water. So what does the body do? It retains water. And what happens? You become swollen. So if you want to lose water weight and shrink your fat cells, you got to bring in the J juice. You got to bring in the salt. You got to bring in the probiotics. You got to bring in the nutrition. And this was the issue in the beginning with my other moderators that I'm writing about right now. They're like, oh my God, I got swollen legs. I got swollen this. What the hell's going on? Because you're taking in salt, but you're not drinking enough water. Salt is not the issue. It's the fact that people do not drink enough water. They drink everything else, but they don't drink enough water. And this guy, Mike Harris, that I know personally, he said that his high blood pressure has been calmed down by drinking mostly water. Actually, he switched to just water. He's not drinking sodas. He's not drinking other types of stuff. He's drinking water. And his high blood pressure has been curbed. So yes, you can cure some of your issues with changing some of your intake as far as the different drinks, but that's not going to fix them at the root level by just switching to water. Okay, some people have a lot more issues than other people, but you can see where water is a necessary thing on the J juice. When I drink even a cup of my J juice, I'm drinking probably like 2 or 3 cups of water. Thereafter, I get thirsty, I drink water. But some of you are not paying attention. Some of you are doing whatever. You're so distracted by trying to do stuff, and you're part of the conspiracy world and whatever, and you're trying to do these other diets, and you're thinking J juice is a great compliment, but you're not drinking enough water. And then you have all these healing symptoms because yes, your body's trying to heal and you're not giving it what it needs. You're not bringing enough water. You're only doing maybe 2 or 3 cups a day, and who knows what your diet is like. Maybe you are underweight or overweight. It's hard to say. If you're overweight, then you need to cut back on the carbs and the sugars, not eradicate them altogether, but you need to cut back and bring in more of the J juice and water. Some of you that are underweight, that are very, very, very skinny, and you're doing the J juice and you're losing more weight, you need to add some carbs and add some sugar to your diet so you can gain weight, so your body has something to work with. Because guess where the prostaglandin hormones come from? They come from fat, fatty acid. Prostaglandin hormones are the healing hormones. And so if you don't have enough fat deposits in your body that will balance out your biochemistry, guess what? You're not going to heal. So I'm looking at this guy's profile picture, and he's very underweight. Of course he's not going to heal fast because he's probably not eating the right foods. Okay? And I don't know his diet, but I can tell when somebody is aging and degrading and they're underweight and they're playing these games of diets and whatever else, and then they have all these predispositions. They need to eat more food. They need to eat meat. They need to eat milk. They need to eat all this stuff to get a diverse diet so that way the body can actually repair at the cellular level, along with the J juice to help process and then distribute everything accordingly. So if you are aging, degrading, and you're underweight and you're so freaking skinny, you need to put some syrup, blueberry syrup or maple syrup in the J juice to add some calories. If you have a hard time processing, food, solid food, okay? And you need to up your intake because some of you are very, very underweight. And then you have all these sores and all these issues because you don't have any fat on your body. And that's where the prostaglandin hormones originate from, is from the fatty acids. So when somebody's extremely obese, they have a lot of prostaglandins, but they also are taxing their heart. They're taxing their other organs. So when you're obese and you have too much fat on your body, you're causing more imbalances. When you don't have enough fat on your body, you're causing more imbalances. It's called balance, people. It's called balance. But you have to understand the components. So that's why my book that's out right now talks about sugar. It talks about salt. It talks about that you need a diverse diet. We don't do any more of the discrimination anymore as far as the diet. Now, like I said, if you are overweight, then you lay off some of the stuff, but not altogether. And if you're underweight, you add more of the carbs and the sugars because you need to gain weight. It's all a balancing act. But you have to understand the components of everything in the food supply and why it's necessary that we don't discriminate. Unless you have a diagnosable allergy to like tomatoes and you go into anaphylactic shock with tomatoes, then you stay away from tomatoes until your body can process it. Okay, so there's some pretty, like common sense type of stuff, but eventually you'll be able to eat tomatoes. But some of you are very underweight and you're not seeing the healing process because you're not bringing enough fat into your body. And it could be the fact that you're still working your ass off, carving and doing construction, and you're not bringing enough calories, and you're burning more than you're able to actually use, and you already have predisposition. So yeah, you're gonna be ripe for some kind of event. Oh, but I'm on J juice, I shouldn't have it. No, because you haven't applied the J juice correctly. You're not eating you're not eating food, and you're taxing your body more than you're able to actually bring on the weight and bring on the healing process. So these are the things I run into with people on the J juice, is that they have their own mind on how it's supposed to go. They don't take my advice to say, hey, maybe you should stop running, stop exercising at the level that you are, stop doing these things that are causing you to burn more calories than you're able to take on, and freaking heal. Give your body a fucking rest. Stop trying to act as if you're freaking Superman when obviously you're not. Oh, but yeah, it's all about spending the minerals as soon as you get them. No different than when somebody gets a huge check, $1,000, and they go and spend it at the nearest place, Cabela's or whatever. They don't save it. They don't invest it in the right area. No, they spend it just like that. That's what people do when they are not very balanced and understanding how to utilize the newfound wealth of Jilly Juice. They want to spend it right off the bat. Oh God, now I got to go and produce and do this and do that and whatever. And then they just spent all the money they had, so there's nothing left, and then they wonder why they're broke, or why they have all these sores that can't be healed, because you just spent the money you just acquired through the J juice. Okay, so I can't help those that don't want to help themselves, that are so freaking stubborn. They think they know it all. Not that I know it all, but obviously it's not working for you because you have your own belief system and your own thought process, which is okay, fine, but obviously it isn't working for you. You still have the same issues. You still have the same, problems. You're still cycling in the same bullshit. There's been no change really in your lifestyle, in your belief system. Your politics haven't changed. Your religion hasn't changed, and neither has your science has changed. And so I know who's doing the J juice and who's just blowing smoke up my ass. I know it, and it is what it is. But I can only really tell people so much before I'm just like, whatever. I've done a lot of videos on the antidiuretic hormone, but I'm telling you, some of these people that don't get it, they don't follow me. They don't even watch my freaking videos. They could give a crap. Oh, but I have a problem now. Now you guys got to solve it for me. Solve your own problems. Understand that everything that, when you watch my videos and you get my book, you should get my new book. This guy, John Brownwood, needs to get my new book to understand how to apply the J juice and to freaking rest. But I doubt he'll listen to me. But you know what? He has promoted J juice too today. I saw that as well. It does work when you apply it the correct way. It does work. But it won't work when you have your own mind about stuff and you think you know everything and you're like, hey, yeah, I'm going to spend this much and I'm going to spend the minerals I acquire like that fast. Because let me tell you, when you have that many predispositions, you can't afford to spend all the minerals that you have acquired. You've got to put some on reserve to help with the rest of your body. You've got to maintain an intake and up it when you need to, because it's nutrition. That's all it is. It's nutrition, but you got to drink water too. You can't just not drink water. People who don't drink water are going to have swelling, and that's called the antidiuretic hormone triggering, to save you from dehydration, to save you from death. Because you're stuck on eating your sodas and your monsters, you're drinking your sodas and your monsters and your teas and your sugary drinks, feeding the candida, feeding the yeast, and now you have fungal issues. And now you have all these different imbalances and diagnosable diseases because of fungal issues. Drinking water, but not so much where it completely dilutes your electrolytes, will help with most of your symptoms. But we stubborn people, gotta have my sugary drinks, gotta have my monsters. Yeah, I had coffee today and I'm peeing like up the yin yang. But I will also drink the J juice and drink water, and I'm not gonna have any diuretic issues or antidiuretic issues. I maintain my equilibrium and my biochemistry, my balance through the J juice. The salt, the water, the probiotics, the nutrition, and the J juice recalibrates my system. So yeah, if I want to bring up some hormones like adrenaline so I can do my book and be on Facebook Live, I can mess with my chemistry, and then I can also, control it back to where it's not going to be all adrenalized. It'll be able to shut off when it needs to. But some of you can't afford to be playing with your hormones the way you do because you haven't given your body what it needs. Anyways, bye.